Hi my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I did this green and yellow summery Sprite kind of esque inspired design. Where did I get the inspiration? My nails. Ooh. So I did a green and yellow nail design recently. We'll link that video down below so you guys can see if you're interested in how I created this look. I haven't done a look inspired by my nails in quite some time, so I decided, why not? This is what I came up with. It's like soft glam meets bold in color Keisha, all mixed into one. I wanted to really keep it simple. We're not like overly highlighted or anything, but I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? Now I know it's been a while. We're really trying to get back into the groove. I'm hoping that this is gonna get better for me now that I'm finally coasting the early morning rise. I wanna formally say, I'm sorry I missed you guys. I've just been trying to catch up and keep up. You know what I'm saying? I knew you'd understand. If you like this video and what we did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share this video if you know someone who would appreciate it. I would appreciate it too. I love making new friends. And without any further ado, guys, it's time to show you how we did this beautiful green and yellow inspired design. Play that theme music. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. To get started, we already have prepped our skin and we're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and prime using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I'm gonna take about 2 pumps. I put it on the back of my hand and then sort of swipey swipe. And then I take whatever excess I have and of course, put it on my lids. And you really wanna make sure that you press the primer into the areas where you have where the makeup breaks up the most. So if you have a T-zone issue, make sure you really press it into the forehead, on the cheeks, around the nose, and the chin. You really want to make sure it's there, and then whatever excess you have, kind of like blend it out. To help with reducing shine today, I'm going to pick up my ColourPop Translucent Deep Powder. It's a beautiful brown color, and I'm just going to press that in using my dry sponge. This is a dampened sponge, and we're going to press it. A quick chatty chat box moment. This is not so much an instructional video, not so much tutorial, more of, you know, let's get cute, girl. I recently seen a comment on one of my videos. The person stated that they felt like I had done this blue look and it didn't look like over dramatic. It was really soft interpretation of the palette. And I realized I haven't done a one palette challenge in a while. I have acquired more palettes since I made those videos and I haven't really like focused in on doing it. Today's not one of those videos. I'm gonna tell you that. In order to get all the colors that I needed, I'm gonna be picking up maybe like 2 or 3 palettes and some super soft shadows, and we'll kind of just flow our way into it. I'm gonna go ahead and set this powder in place, and I'm gonna use the Bear With Me. I'm gonna get this dry down just a wee teeny bit. I don't want it completely dry because I'm actually gonna do something I don't do very often, but I enjoy doing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Fenty foundation brush, and I'm going to pick up the Lancome Glow Subtle Silky Cream Highlighter in the shade 01 Gold Lights. She looks like this. And I'm just gonna put this in the high points of my face. You can use a liquid illuminator if you want, but I really like this one. It's a beautiful goldeny vibe, and you guys can see a little bit of that. So now we're going to pick up a little bit of concealer. I think I have another concealer actually from ColourPop. Hold on. I thought I was ready, girl. She wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
I'm actually going to use my Adri wine. I haven't used him in a while. I'm going to pick up Golden Maybelline Adri wine. I love that sound. Let you know you're doing something. And I'm going to really like go under my eye here because I want to have a bright eye today. Since I'm doing a more subtle eye look, I want to make sure that I'm looking bright and awakened, darlings. Bright and awakened. I'm going to hit this in the center of my face as well, just a little bit. We're not overdoing it today. I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush. Actually, let's do this brush. And I'm going to press this in under my eye. If you feel like this is dry, because some matte concealers might get a little, you know, a little dry before you get started in that area, and that's perfectly fine. Just hit it with a little bit of your setting spray, or you can use a mist like I do sometimes. I'll pick up the Olay essence here, the Ultimate Hydration Essence, and I'll do that just to sort of re-moisten the product because it will dry out. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter foundation in the shade Deep Dark 195. Give it a shake because your girl hasn't picked this one up in a while. I will sort of bounce around with what I use and sort of get into a funk where I only pick up one, which is not a bad thing. I mean, if you're picking up one, that probably means that you're really digging it. But I'm gonna blend this out and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're all blended out. I just used my large brush, and this one is from Juvia's Place. I love this brush, she's so pretty. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick up two ColourPop concealers. I'm gonna be using Dark 48 and Deep Dark 54. And I'm going to start under my eye and actually on my lids, and I'm going to conceal with this shade. Somebody asked me about why I put product on my lid. I probably explained it before, but if you haven't seen one of the older videos, basically I have natural hyperpigmentation on my lid, so it's darker at the lash line than it is at the brow bone. So to help give me a more even playing field to do, especially when I'm doing lighter colors, it's better to use a lighter concealer that's a shade or two lighter than my skin tone to help me sort of correct that a little bit, so it makes the blending process a little bit easier. I'm gonna do this one on the bridge, which is the Deep Dark 54. I've already done a little bit of brightening underneath, so I just want to do like a simple light situation. This color is almost like my natural skin tone, actually. I'm basically creating like an in-between shade for these two, so I'm just going to sort of smack those on the inside just to give me something to blend. And while we're correcting and highlighting, let's go ahead and bronze me up. So I'm going to contour using the Fenty Espresso Matchstick, or the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Espresso, whichever way you want to do it. Let's go ahead and do the center of my face because I don't want that to be too bright. I'm gonna let it dry down just a smidge. If you're a newbie, I like to let this dry down just a little bit so I can get more coverage out of it. I'm probably gonna add Deep Dark 54 just to help the blend from the highlight shade into the foundation shade. Or if you kind of like where you're at, you can just take your foundation brush and then just sort of soften the blend between this highlighter shade and my skin tone shade and the contour. Give you this nice little gradient vibe. So let me blend under my eyes and I'll be right back. And we're going to proceed to setting my under eye using the ColourPop Banana Powder Banana. So taking my sponge, you see how much is on there? If you don't want to bake, you can tamp off the excess on your hand like that. That way you just have a little bit of powder, and that definitely helps you control the amounts of powder on your face. I'm gonna do the other eye without tamping out the excess. You guys can see the difference. So there's that. And see, there's definitely, powder on there. And you'll kind of have to press it in. So can you see a difference? It took a little bit more time to press this in than the other side. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side so they're even. Whenever I put on eyeshadow, sometimes I have fallout because I use different brands sometimes, and different palettes might be a little bit more pigmented than others. So I just sort of put a little shadow shield down so that I can just sweep off the excess. Your girl has a method to the madness. I'm not all madness. So I picked up 3 palettes that I think will be helpful with creating this look. So if you have any one of these, then you can definitely play around too. So the first one is going to be the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, which looks like this. I also picked up this palette, which is the Tri palette, also from Juvia's Place. And this one has a nice variety of greens to play with, as well as this beautiful champagne shimmer color. So we might do that on top of some yellow. And then I also picked up the Nubian 2 palette, also from Juvia's Place. And it has a deeper green and 2 yellows here. So this gives me a nice little play around with a variety of greens and a few yellows. I also picked up the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Cusp, and he looks like this. I also picked up a green Jelly Mutt shadow into focus, and that's what he looks like. He's a little bit lighter than what you guys are seeing on camera. So the first one I'm gonna pick up is the Tribe palette, and I'm gonna go with this color here at the top. I'm gonna pick up a large, dense, fluffy brush, and I'm going to put him at the top because this color on me almost reads yellow, not so much green. So I'm just gonna put him up here, and you probably can't see that, but we're gonna have to scooch on in. So I'm gonna put him all the way up at the brow bone because he reads green yet yellow on me at the same time. So I'm trying to see if I can play with that to my advantage. And as always, my signature flick it out motion. Now I'm going to pick up the Zulu palette, and I'm going to take this yellow up here at the top, and I'm going to take a dense fluffy brush, but I'm going to use something a little bit more fluffier than dense because I really want to pack the yellow on so you can tell it is yellow, of course. And I'm going to put this more in my crease and let him start to show up for the paute. And I'm gonna just keep packing this on until I get the opacity that I want, so you guys can see it's starting to come through. A little life update. I'm still quarantining, you know, to be honest. I want this to be taken very, very seriously. I know there are a lot of people who don't handle the quarantining life very well because it's very isolating, and if you have some issues where you just don't, you're an extrovert like I am, and it's kind of hard to stay at home because you feel like you're kind of trapped in your own headspace. I'm gonna tell you guys what I have actually been doing, and I've been telling people this a lot. I know this is gonna be a shock for some of you guys, but telephones are not just for texting or scrolling Instagram or other social media handles. You can actually dial the number to the person that you're texting and talk to them.
Say what?
You can have a full conversation, darling. You didn't know? I am putting a wrinkle on your brain. Mind you guys, I'm a little bit older than most people, so I remember house phones, you know, the cord and all that jazz. I'm actually gonna stick with this flat brush, and I'm gonna go to the Tribe palette, and I'm gonna pick up this brighter green color here, and I'm gonna use that kind of as my base for the light green shimmer. It's been really nice talking to people again and having conversations and really feeling like I'm vibing with people again, even though I'm not like out of my house. I've been sort of appreciating my downtime. I've been meditating a little bit more often. Meditation is very important. I've realized I didn't do it a lot before I started staying at home. I'll sit down and really evaluate what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what is causing me to think and feel that way. I'm gonna take a flat smudger brush like this, and this one is from Morphe, and then I'm gonna take an angled brush. Can you guys see that angle? He's a sharp angle brush. And this is the AOA Studios E114. So on the angle brush, I'm going to use it to help me cut this line and connect it back. And then for the smudger brush, I'm going to be doing that for the inner corner to the outer edge. I'm going to take this color here and this color here in the inner corner. I'm going to take this color here for the center, and this color for the outer edge, and let's go. Okay, so can you guys see? I pretty much brought this from the inner corner to about the halfway line. I went to art, okay? So when I say halfway line, I like literally break my face into sections, kind of like they do in art class. It's a line going straight down the middle. You have lines going like this, and then they kind of break things up to kind of help you be even. So I kind of break my face into a grid when I do certain things, especially when I'm trying to make them symmetrical. But yeah, it's Tootsie, which I said is this color here. This is the second color. I'm gonna pack that on top and then blend it out about 3/4 of the way out. So I'm gonna start in the middle. A trick for you more melanated girls like me is to tamp instead of swipe. You kind of want to put everything in place and then blend. This way you get the color payoff that you're looking for. So now I'm going to switch over from the flat stippling brush or this smudging brush to the angled brush, and I'm going to go into Son, which is the darkest of the green colors that I use today, and I'm going to press him on the outer edge to connect him with the top. I decided to keep this look matte, so I did not use the Super Shock or the Jelly Mutt shadow, but if you want to transition to a matte, I would recommend using Into Focus. the Jelly Munch shadow. I think he'll be bomb on this because he's a lighter color. If you have like more of a neon thing, that'd be cool. Or you can just put on a topper that's just shimmery, but doesn't really give you any color, and that will be bomb too. Grabbing my face brushes back, I'm gonna take my large fluffy brush and I'm going to dust off this shadow shield. All right, and the shadow shield is gone. Poof, magic. Hey. So for starters, I'm going to grab my Coconati. I'm gonna pick up the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1. And because I'm using this, I have this yellowy orange thing going on, I'm thinking about going with this more of a orangey peach blush versus going with a pinky color. And I'm gonna blush before I bronze. I know we don't do that, but I'm doing it today because I kind of want to make sure I can see this shade. Can you see that? Ain't it pretty? I love this color. I'm going to take an angled fluffy brush and I'm going to bronze with it. And of course, we're using the Fenty one. So now I'm going to grab my Micro Smooth powder, and this is in the shade Deep Ebony. Roasted. And I'm just going to swirl my brush into it in a circular motion. And I just sort of press and sweep, press and sweep, press and sweep. And the Micro Smooth powder just gives you this airbrushed finish look. You can either choose either one of these. I have the Sephora Rogue Gel Lip Liner in the shade Molasses. And then I also have the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Dimensional Dark Brown. You can do either one. I think I'm just gonna go with the Dimensional Dark Brown because I think I want a more intense lip line. You never know it, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, this is gonna be cute. So I'm gonna start with the AOA Studios Wonder Matte in the shade 2003 Naked. And I'm gonna put him all over. And you see how instantly my lip looks like I did a whole lot of blending and I ain't done nothing yet. And that is it. Let's get cute for the outro and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, and that is it for me today. This green and yellow eye design was inspired by these green and yellow nail designs. And I think they came out amazing. As you can see, I didn't go exactly matchy-matchy because this is a much brighter green than what I used on my lid, because I would have to find like a neon green to kind of match this vibe. And instead of doing all the shimmer and the bold, bright, glossy finish that I have on my nails, I kind of went with a more muted matte. I think this design and all of this came together so fly. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of me, then you know what you need to do. Hit that red subscribe button so you can be a part of my lovely family. To be notified of my uploads, don't forget to hit that bell button because we like to make it rain, make it rain. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what we did in this video today, then you know what you should do. Drop your thoughts into the comment section and I respond to every response as soon as I possibly can. Please bear with me if it takes me a day or two. I try. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, playing in color and having a great time. As always, stay true to yourself, stay beautiful, stay bold, stay colorful, stay you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.